This episode of SpectreSoundStudios is brought to you by DistroKid. Hey everybody, welcome to SMG Viewers Comments episode 99. Let's get right to it.
How do you record direct out signal from the amplifier? I have thought about getting my amp and then using cab impulses on my computer. As far as I know, speaker output on the amp have very high signal, so how can I get that signal to the line level so I record it on my interface? I have a Focusrite Scarlett 6i6 first generation.
What you need, my man, is this. This is a Countryman Type 85 direct box. It's about $200 and will last you a lifetime. The really cool part is you can put this in between your amp's speaker output and the speaker itself. Just set it for speaker. There's a little toggle switch here, and it can handle those levels. And you get a mic level output out the back, and you can hook that up to your interface through the mic preamp, and then run that signal through your impulses. It works absolutely amazing. These things are only $200, and they are, or maybe 185. There'll be a link in the description below. Definitely worth checking out. I've had this for about 10 years and it is absolutely irreplaceable. It is my number one direct box. Don't leave home without it.
Any tips for finding other musicians in high school? All the guys I hang out with outside of school only listen to pop and country. I know there are other metalheads at school, but I don't know if they can play instruments. I've thought about putting a flyer up, but there's nowhere to put it, and music classes here are dominated by kids learning piano. Should I just start asking people one at a time? Any tips would be appreciated.
Okay, there's nowhere to put flyers up? What, there's no utility poles out in front of your school? There's no bus stops? You can put flyers up at those. You can put a flyer up at a local music store or a record store if anybody still goes to one of them. You can try putting some up in the cafeteria or just, handing out some flyers even at your cafeteria lunch tables. That's a good way to start up a conversation, especially with some of the other metalhead kids. And that's the other thing. Try talking to people. That's always a big plus. You want to be on stage, you want to be in a band, it's time to grow some fucking balls and start talking to people, because you're going to have to get up on stage and face an audience at some point. A good place to start would be actually talking to your fellow classmates. Good luck with that, man. I really hope it works out for you.
I wish I had seen this vid before trying to record a friend's band. We charged a flat rate, and yes, they took 3 days to only record the guitar, which wasn't on time, and the drums, which the drummer never actually finished himself and wanted us to copy and paste the last part of the song since he couldn't really play it. After that third day, I had to break it to them to tell them they need to practice. But now I'm the bad guy since I didn't want to give them or release that monstrosity of a song. I really do find this channel very helpful, and I've taken some of the tips and tricks into our studio, and the results are great. Thanks a lot, brother.
Oh, yes, you fell for the flat rates thing. So desperate for work, so desperate to actually work with people that you're willing to sell your soul and give you flat rates to a fucking bunch of assholes who do not give a shit about your personal situation. 3 days to track guitars and drums. What a bunch of fucking dicks. You should have thrown them out after the first day. Go home and fucking practice. Don't waste my fucking time. Situations like that really fucking piss me off. If the drummer couldn't play his part, throw his ass the fuck out of the fucking studio. If they got a problem with that, oh well. It's not like anybody in your local music scene is going to have any respect for them anyway, because they obviously can't fucking play. And if they do go after you for some reason and try smearing your name, just put up their mix on Facebook and let everybody hear how awful they really are.
Is there any legitimate reason to not mic up the snare in a club-sized room? Just saw a band that sounded like shit because of this.
Because of what, Matt? You didn't explain. Was the snare mic'd up? Was the snare not mic'd up? Specifics, man. You gotta tell me what you're talking about. I mean, do you fucking play bass? I don't know how many fucking times I've had people come into the studio. Oh, well, we don't like that. Well, what do you like? I don't know. It's that kind of thing. Do you mic up a snare? Depends on how hard the drummer hits. I mean, if it's a really tiny room and you got the kit mic'd up, it can probably be a little too much. Whereas if you've got a slightly bigger room and the drummer hits like a wimp, chances are, yeah, maybe you should mic up the snare. Or maybe, the more efficient thing would be the drummer to start playing heavy rim shots constantly so you can hear the fucking snare. But seriously, people, you're gonna ask a question. Okay, try and have a subject in mind. It just makes the whole show move a lot faster.
Man, I've submitted 6 different entries and none of them have been reviewed. Come on, Glenn.
Well, Warren and I checked out your version of Crazy Little Thing Called Love, and all I can say is I'm glad the contest is over so we don't have to watch 7, 8, and 9. Hey everybody, this episode is sponsored by DistroKid. DistroKid is the service that gets your music out to multiple online retailers and saves you the hassle. They'll put your music up on majors like iTunes, Amazon, Google Play, and Spotify, sometimes within hours of uploading, plus over 150 smaller online music retailers as well. If you're into doing cover songs, DistroKid will get you a license for the song so you can sell it. They do all the heavy lifting behind the scenes with the legal stuff. This feature is worth its weight in gold, in my opinion. In fact, DistroKid is what I use on my own personal projects. And for the first time in my life, I'm actually making money off my music. No record label required. It only costs $20 a year and you keep 100% of your earnings. And they've got new features including Leave a Legacy, which will let you keep your music up on the stores even if you cancel your membership. And what's also coming up are the new band pages, which are free to anyone, including non-DistroKid members. Set up a page and have it search for your band and it will automatically populate a link list to everywhere that your music is sold. There's even a Text Your Fans paid feature coming where people can sign up to get texts from you and stay updated on everything happening with your project. If you follow the link in the description below, you can get a 7% discount on your yearly membership. Check it out at distrokid.com/VIP/Spectre. Now back to the show.
TJ has proved that even Canada has rednecks.
Hey, who are you calling a redneck?
Something else I wish you would review and give tips on is external sound card devices to hook Guitar DI into a DAW, what your opinions on the best and most cost-friendly ones are.
Actually, I've got something coming from Focusrite in the next week or two that I will be taking a much closer look at, something that's very much bang for the buck, that's going to give you a very good sound quality for not very much money. Stick around, watch my Fearless Gear reviews. I guarantee you're going to like what you see.
You get better feedback than most of my Berkeley professors. The constructive stuff is invaluable.
Thank you very much, man. It's comments like that that make it all worth it. Truth is, actually, last week I did my very first lecture at the Ontario Institute of Recording Technology, OEART, and had a blast. I did like a 2-hour piece there and just had a great time. And we got a little bit of back and forth going with the students, and I was trying to explain to them that, you know, maybe they should try pushing musicians harder. And then the whole thing about balancing budgets and that kind of thing. So it was quite the interesting couple of hours. I think I really got across to a couple of the kids, and that was awesome. I might be doing some courses later on next year there as well. So if you're considering a prospective recording school, check out the Ontario Institute of Recording Arts. You just might see me teaching one of them there.
Tricky gets my vote. You should draw up a short list and let the viewers vote.
Now, the problem with letting the viewers vote is you fuckers would all just vote for yourselves and we wouldn't really get a clear picture of what's going on. Truth is, it's my amp. I'm going to give it to who I think deserves it. But hey, feel free to start your own contest and give away your amp and let the viewers vote for that one. Let's see how that one works out for you.
Hey Glenn, at 1907 you said the guy should have shot the video at 24 frames. Is there any advantage for shooting at 24 frames per second? My intuition would say that 30 frames would be better so the video looks smoother. Has this something to do with the alignment of audio and video?
Actually, it's got something to do with image quality. You see, even the earliest movie cameras were capable of shooting at high frame rates. I've got some old Bolex cameras that can do, 30, 40, 50 frames a second. And I'm sure the early projectionists, could speed the film up quite a bit as well. But I think what the earliest film engineers realized is that when you get things to around 24 frames a second, something really cool happens. There's enough information there, you get a good image, but there's not enough information there so it looks cheap. You look at video at 30 frames a second and it looks cheap. And when you get in a high definition video, high frame rate video at 60 frames a second, it looks fucking awful. If any of you guys went to see The Hobbit in an HFR theater, it looked awful. Film sets looked like film sets, and it didn't look like a movie. And that's because when you get to 24 frames a second, there's not quite enough information there, so your brain kind of has to fill in the gaps, and that's what gives movies their look, and it looks awesome in my opinion. 30 frames is fine if you're doing sports, but I much prefer 24 frames. It's a whole aesthetic. There's certain disadvantages you have to deal with that you have to shoot around, but I am all about 24 frames a second because it just looks great, especially for a music video.
My then boyfriend introduced me to your channel and I instantly fell in love with your I don't care about your feelings and common sense personality. Love the vids, man.
Holy crap, we actually have a female viewer. I love how you put it, my former boyfriend. What's your name? Lindsay Wolbing. Is your nickname the Man Crusher? Anyway, thanks so much for commenting and glad you enjoyed the stuff. Stick around. This is going to be an interesting summer.
Still better than Jack should be a t-shirt.
That one's probably coming out next week, actually. Hashtag sorry, not sorry, Jack.
Glenn, I can't believe you know what the wood violin is. That is a Viper, which is his most expensive and probably his best violi.
Yeah, I remember reading about Mark Wood and Guitar for the Practicing Musician back in the early 90s. I remember seeing his video for Monkey Bats being played on Much Music, like the Power 30, again, in the early 90s. So yeah, I remember Mark Wood did some music for the Olympics and a lot of stuff, but yeah, his true love was playing metal violin, which I thought was really cool. It's kind of a drag that it really hasn't taken off over the last 20, 25 years. I think there's a lot of potential in that instrument, and it's cool to see musicians pushing the boundaries of what metal can be, and I think it'd be really cool if a lot more people started picking the wood violin up and incorporating it into more metal. I think that would just be awesome.
Glenn, I love your channel. I've been watching for about a year and a half now, and I greatly appreciate your material as a musician, composer, engineer, and human being. This Saturday, I graduated college with a degree in music technology and a degree in music performance.
Hope you like serving fries for a living.
I wore my Rule Number 2 shirt under my cap and gown, and I thought you'd appreciate that. My roommate thought it was hysterical, as he is also a fan and actually met you at Summer NAMM last year. Keep on making videos, dude. I love it.
Congratulations on graduating. Good luck finding work. I really do wish you guys the best. It's a very different job market than when what the fuck am I talking about? There weren't any jobs when I graduated either. I had to go into business for myself. The thing is, everybody's got a stolen copy of Cubase these days. So producing bands might not be the easiest way to make money. I'd definitely take a look at film sound or sound for television, that kind of thing. If you want to work in audio, those disciplines can always use good engineers. Good luck with your career, man. Wish you the best of luck.
The bro fist, or whatever you call that gesture of hitting each other's fists, is called the little tortoise in Poland and is greatly looked down on here by the true metal people. Just saying.
Oh no, the true metal people! Not the true metal people! Nobody expects the true metal people. Seriously, dude, that was fucking amazing. You know what? I like that so much, I put it on a fucking shirt, and you can get it this weekend and this weekend only in the SpectreMedia.ca shop. All right, that's it for this episode. If you haven't signed up for DistroKid and you want to get your music out to the world, do so. It is absolutely amazing. It is what I use to get my music across, and like I said, it actually makes me money. Good luck in getting a record company to give you money these days. Yeah, that's going to happen. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. We're out of here. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this episode. If you like the content, please support the channel either at my SMG shop or through my Patreon. If you want to see more, hit one of the playlists. Thanks for watching. I'm out of here.